years, Rocky has captured the imagination of audiences around the world. I'm Dolph Lundgren, and I'm one of the people whose life the Rocky movies changed forever.
You had the talent to become a good fighter, and instead of that, you became a cheap second-rate lone star.
So living?
It's a waste of life.
More than a boxing story, Rocky has become synonymous with the word underdog, while perseverance also aptly describes Sylvester Stallone's Italian stallion.
Especially in boxing, I think people love underdogs. And if the underdog does something, the crowd gets behind him. They just sway instantly.
Through 6 Rocky films and now 2 Creed movies, the story of determination, family, and of course, boxing, continues to inspire men, women, and children of all ages, races, and nationalities.
You can always relate to an underdog story. You can always relate to the person who's fighting for something, who has passion. A story like Rocky kind of kept that heart going.
As a fighter, they have a certain mentality. There's a certain fire that burns inside of them. Those are the things that sets Rocky apart.
That's why we've been able to really keep the series alive for 40 years, because the characters are rich and interesting.
Join me as we explore the impact of the most successful sports movie franchise in film history. And we'll also look forward to the continuing new legacy of Creed 2.
To this day, people hear the Rocky music and they think boxing. It's iconic. There's no doubt about it.
I love it. It's just beautiful.
Irresistible.
Yeah, I mean, I get up.
It's got that thing that rides underneath it, but you got this smooth melody going on the top, like a bird flying, and this thing driving underneath it.
You've elevated the lower strata of society with elegant music, heroic music, and music that you would see in gladiatorial, triumphant entrances of Caesar returning to Rome, not Rocky walking down the street knocking on a pet shop window.
When I hear Rocky theme, it pumps me up no matter what. No matter how many years it's been. I get really excited.
That music for me embodies the power of the transcendence of the human spirit. It's just like you're gonna forge through whatever it is. You're gonna climb every mountain and you're gonna make it.
Who doesn't like Rocky movies? Who doesn't like that kind of top-notch, tough guy, ready to face the world, fight the toughest, baddest guys out there?
I must break you.
Still, to this day, if I'm in a hotel room and I turn on classic movies or something, and Rocky, the original, is on there, I just stop and I'll watch the whole movie. It's still compelling. It's still Rocky. It's this great performance, great direction, a low-budget film that literally captured the hearts of everybody.
I really believe that there is something about your legacy. I know that's a word that's used a lot, but it's what you leave behind. You want to leave some footprints on the canvas of life. They don't have to be big ones. Everyone doesn't have to be a world champion. It's just the fact that you gave it your best. That's the Rocky philosophy. He never expected to be a champion. He just wanted to go the distance and have a little dignity. And that's pretty much the ongoing theme. We've had some really good moments in Rockies and sometimes magic happens, and this is the actual street where I walk out with my son and Rocky Balboa, and I go, you know, it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. Because that's how winning is done.
It don't matter if this guy opens my head again. So all I want to do is go the distance.
1976 was when it first aired, and my first professional fight was in February of 1977. It was just the theme and the music and what we saw in the heart of a fighter that really resonated with me. That really put me in a position where I felt I could beat anyone.
So why are you doing this?
Because you can't win, Rock.
Majority of us are underdogs. Very few successful, top-notch fighters, if you will, champions. It gives them a sense of hope, a sense of, yes, I can do this. If I train hard, if I work hard, if I believe in myself. It shows what it takes to be a winner. That's what it's all about. It's all about determination. It's all about motivation. It's all about what I call power. Prepare, overcome, win every round. And that's what it takes to be a winner.
I never have overestimated the impact that it's actually had on people's lives, on athletes, on people that have been handicapped, and young kids, old people, foreign. It's really extraordinary. So it's not really a movie in some ways, and I'm not approached as an actor. It's kind of a representative of the school of thought, philosophy.
There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win.
I think when you're watching kind of Rocky or Creed franchise, there's always something that's pulling at the strings, and ultimately family related to us personally is so universal.
The strength of the story has always been in the character of Rocky and the people around him, whether it's Rocky and Adrian and Paulie and Mickey or Apollo Creed. So it's always really been about the characters.
If you believe in yourself and believe in something enough that you can succeed and can connect getting through whatever struggles or hardships you have in your life to something more meaningful than just you. If you can connect it to your family, to community, to your ideals, then I think you never lose.
Yo,
So what makes a perfect Rocky villain? In the first two films, Rocky Balboa faced his exact opposite in the skillful, articulate world champion Apollo Creed.
You're going down, man. You're going down.
Who would go from foe to friend. In Rocky III, he met the nasty and dangerous Clubber Lang.
Dead meat.
In Rocky IV, he faced his stiffest challenge as he climbed the Russian Man Mountain, Ivan Drago. Me.
I remember Drago. He reminded me of a white Mike Tyson because he was strong, he didn't care. He was so determined to be the best, and he was. He put a lot of guys away, just like Mike Tyson. I love watching Mike Tyson fight. I love the way that Drago intimidates. The intimidation when the two guys are standing face to face, one of those guys are like trembling in their shorts, and it's not Drago, and it wasn't Mike Tyson, so it's that intimidation factor.
You will lose.
I remember when we shot the Apollo Creed fight. Yeah, it was at the MGM Grand in Vegas. They had me down in this elevator that's going to go up, part of the stage show. So I was sitting in my dressing room first. It's just in my boxing glove, sitting there waiting, and I get a knock on the door, and he's like, "Hey, man, the Reverend Brown wants to see you." And I went with him, and I met James Brown in his dressing room. But he was really nice, talked to me, and asked about the movie. Obviously, I was a huge James Brown fan, you know. But when I came up the elevator, kind of stunned. Oh, that's the one moment in Rocky IV where you see Dolph Lundgren at set 27, because that Drago mask kind of fell off. And I'm just there going, what the hell happened, you know? And that's a kind of beautiful moment. I always get a little emotional when I see that, because I see that young kid.
He represented something a lot bigger. First of all, he represented perfection. He represented a different communist ideology. He represented science in sports, steroids, so on and so forth, at a time when it wasn't that prevalent. So you're fighting literally a man of the future with a man who's basically archaic, a man of the past. So it's kind of interesting in that sense.
When I showed up to start training with Sly for Rocky IV, he handed me a script. And it wasn't the script of the movie, it was the script of the fight. And it was about 30 pages of just round one, left, 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 right, right, left hook. And I had to memorize that on the page. And he had the music already written for the fight. So we kind of choreographed the fight to the music. So it was quite clever the way he did that. And the choreography of that fight, I still remember the opening of that first round. I think, till the day I die, it's stuck in there, tattooed into my head. During the production of Creed II, I had the chance to sit down with Sly and talk about our iconic fight in Rocky IV.
We really don't look this old.
No, you're right. As old as MGM. They said we look too good.
I mean, he came off, he looked like a ski instructor, and look what they did to him.
Look what they've done to this poor guy.
You just want to have a few words about a famous Russian battle and what you remember.
This is a real battle of wills, and it's just very feral and savage.
You took some great shots too, the way you would launch yourself through the air.
Rocky's just pushing forward. Of course, the ref would break that up, but thing, and then cheap shot, boom.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just interesting. You know, you just take those kinds of falls, and you have to with reckless abandon, but your timing was perfect, so.
You know, I was a karate champion at the time. You know, I was 10 years, almost 10 years younger than you. You're keeping up with me, and I was tired, and I thought,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I was kind of impressed.
I look at this stuff today and go, wow, I don't think this is ever coming down the pike again. Like, these shots are, look at my head, bang, those are full. I'll never forget that shot, because it came right, I felt it in my butt. You hit me at the top of my head, it went down my spine, literally like a bolt of lightning.
Here we go, boom.
Yeah, these are shots.
Those are remembered.
With those 8-ounce gloves that have actually been banned today because they're too lethal. And the speed at which he's, I mean, look at this. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
And then what I love here is like he put his mouthpiece in, you go, okay, no, forget it, I'm all right. And then I walk out and you do it again, like thud. You know?
Oh, yeah, I remember doing those shots. I felt really bad having to do it too. Then there was the part at the end when you win and you have that political kind of speech, kind of bringing the nations together, which kind of is, it is an echo of that now in this picture.
If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change!
Well, Ivan Drago, he's like the Frankenstein myth. The Soviet system created this perfect specimen. So you're sort of scared of him, but you're in a bit in awe of him, and you feel a little sorry for him. You kind of know nothing really good is going to happen to Ivan when this fight's over. That kind of brings me straight to Creed 2, where Ivan's had a really bad time for 30 years. I'm sort of happy that I can take the character back now, 30 years later, as a real person with all kinds of feelings and complexity. When the movie starts in Creed 2, we're a bit like Rocky in the first one. It's cold, freezing in our place. We hardly have any food. We go out for a run in the snow. That's why it's a full circle on one eye. The opponents, shall I say, in Creed 2 aren't really bad guys. They're just people who have nothing.
It isn't until you finally find a little solace in love, and you have someone you want to be proud of you. You now have a reason. It's like having a child. It's one thing to fight, then you realize you have to support a family. You really are in there. You're gonna fight to the death.
Stallone worked that in the original Rocky, that Adrian was a very important person, you know, and she was just as important as Rocky, and the reason he did everything was for her.
So it's all about belonging to someone, Mickey, the family, Paulie. That's what's the most important thing. It's not Rocky, it's the group. And as they eventually, you know, died off, Rocky eventually, you know, he lost his, basically his reason for going on, except for his son.
Sylvester Stallone, Sly, my man, he has impacted boxing to such a degree. It's like what he's done, sport of boxing, and although there may be people out there that say, well, that's not real boxing, what he has done was given boxing shot of adrenaline because people tune in to what seems like the impossible for Rocky to become champion.
I think Sly kind of reinvented that whole boxing genre in '76. I remember seeing the first Rocky, and the boxing scenes were great. Obviously very visceral and very inventive, the way they were shot. The older boxing movies always looked a little fake, looked a little bit, you know, staged, but that picture didn't.
Sylvester Stallone is a master, and that's all that need be said about that. He knows exactly what to do, how much to do, when to do, and how to do it. He is a master.
Rocky once said, nothing is real if you don't believe in who you are. From a journeyman boxer to a world champion, Rocky believed in himself and truly went the distance with a generation of movie fans and boxers. Over 40 years after the first film, there's still only one name when it comes to boxing movies: Rocky.